I love the background. Oh, hey,
I
we're live.
love I love the background too. Yes,
Oh,
they are made by a phenomenal Alicia, and she's mid-state, the state somewhere, and she is phenomenal at making background. So thank you so much for the beautiful joy of business with the gold swirling through. Thank you so much. Hello, my dear friend.
hello.
Can I ask you a question? When did we first meet?
It was 2018, was it? Or 2019? Something like that. I can't remember
You
if
tell
it's
me.
2019. But it was I saw some of your stuff online and you were doing so much of the no, I think it was 2019 because I was already a bars facilitator, I think. And you were doing an intro called Create More Time, More Joy, More Money. And I was like, oh my God, I need this. I need this. This is something that I require right now. And I had no idea it was part of Joy of Business. And I had no idea that I was able to facilitate that. Um, and I did that class, and I love that you reminded me a few days ago that I did. Rachel said, "Do you remember you didn't even have the money for that class?" I was
It was
like,
50. It was 50 euro.
"It was 50 euro." I said, "Yeah, 50 euro was my monthly allowance."
I'm pretty, I'm pretty sure. Were you working in Egypt or were you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was working in Egypt, and I was living for a year in Egypt, and then I had no clue what, like, I was living a joyful life. I had a joy doing the job that I was doing, but I had no idea that I had that.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
So let me tell my side this.
Yeah.
I meet this, you were still wearing your scarf at the time,
Yeah.
okay? And I meet this little one who sends me a message, okay? And she has so much joy, and I just know I'm like, this girl is something else. And we were talking on Messenger, and I kept saying, "Hey, what would you like to have? What would you like to create?" And then I invited you to this class called "Create More Time, More Joy, More Money." And fast forward 4 years later, and you're an Access Consciousness certified facilitator. Okay, now she's gonna ignore me saying that she's like really great. I can't say she's brilliant because she'd just go away. Okay, so I have to go gently here. So she's a see, she's an access consciousness facilitator. She is a top entities facilitator,
Um,
a relationship done different facilitator, which is mind blowing, a joy business facilitator. Anything else?
right, recovery for you
Recovery for
facility.
you.
Yeah.
Okay. And so in 4 years, the girl who couldn't pay $50 for a Create More Time, More Joy, More Money class has actually generated a whole business facilitating classes that are over a couple of $1,000s per class. Like our class for Relationship Done Different is 2,000, our business classes are 2,700, And so for me, it's so beautiful to watch your evolution. Can you talk about what is it that you are willing to choose? Because joy business, let's give people a couple of inroads to joy business. Joy business is not about business only. And it seems people seem to think it is, and then you know,
Yeah.
it
Well,
actually is. Yeah.
people already is a problem. People thinking is is already an issue. If you're already thinking, then that's an issue, and I'll tell you why. Because, like I said in the beginning, like I was doing the job that I was doing. I didn't have my own business then. I was doing a job for a big, huge company, and now that was like a really small job, but that was very joyful for me. And I said I didn't think I was doing joy of business and being joy of business. So how much do we actually go into thinking to have a concept and then to really put ourselves in a definition of what we be, of what we have, and what we generate in our lives, which has nothing to do with what we're actually being, with what we're actually. And I just acknowledged this just before this live. Rachel, thank you so much for being this invitation. I just looked at, I had the whole everything that I've been doing and creating since forever, even me going to med school, everything had to be joyful for me. Every bit of it. When it's not joyful, I'm like, you do it. But if I see joy of business, and to be honest, like joy of business classes are one of the things that I resist facilitating the most. And I just before this live, I was like, oh, I resist the thing that I be.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I think I
yeah.
have to do something to be it while I'm already being it. And it was so beautiful because you inspired me to so much of these tools, and you showed me that it's so much easier and it can be so much more joyful to even shift businesses, shift careers, if we can say. And I would love to hear from you, Rach. What was it like for you to change through the years from maybe having a job to, I don't know what you had before Access, but I know you changed a lot through your life, like either your monetary reality that I know, like this, the backstory of it, but the job part. But what was it like for you to change everything?
I was the queen of change, I have to say. I would go into a job. I've worked, I haven't ever really talked about this. I worked in my uncle's fish and chip shop. If you've lived in UK or Ireland, we go to these shops where they have local caught fish and we do homemade potatoes chips. So I started off at 14 years of age working in my uncle's fish and chip shop so that I
Oh
could
my
get
goodness.
money so that I could get money to buy clothes because my mother didn't have a budget. My mother didn't have money to buy me and my sister clothes, but she was a beautiful seamstress. You could tell her, Mom, I like this. I go get the material. I tell my mom what to do because I've always been bossy.
That is
without
a good
even
thing.
know, without even knowing that I have this ability to manipulate people into greater.
Mm.
It's something that I naturally have, and my daughter jokes around. She's like, "You've this ability that people listen to you and you manipulate them to become greater," And I was like, "Me?" She's like, "Mom, stop." And so then I worked in so many jobs. I worked in auctioneering, I worked in finance, I worked in HR. And my last job working for someone that paid me wages, I gave that up when my son was 5 because he hated school. He would not go to school. And so I went away and trained as a Pilates trainer and a personal trainer. And I actually had a fitness business in Ireland for about 10 years. Yeah, yeah. And that's what led me into consciousness. I was 17 years old, went to my first ever movement to music class in Ireland. I was mesmerized by it. See, there's the joy of business there again.
Right.
I I was mesmerized by it and I was like, what is this? And then years later, I trained at it and had a lovely business in Ireland teaching beautiful people Pilates and do personal training sessions. I loved it. I really did. Something occurred though in my early 40s whereby I was not happy. You know, there there was something, and now I know that that was a call to put my energy into something different. You know, and the call was actually access consciousness, and that me having to become greater. And so you said, what was it that you chose? One of the things that I know about life and living, if you're going to truly live, you've got to have greater being. And the joy business is essentially about what I be from the moment my eyes wake. It's about the joy of living. I'm in the business of living from the moment my eyes open until I fall into bed, usually like a kid, you know. And so the joy of business is not like I have to get this to have joy. I have to have this to have joy. It's it's like something inside you gets fulfilled, and you've this joy and a peace with joy in what you get to do in the world and in the choices that you get to have. It's just it's just mind blowing, you know. And you said the thing you resisted the most was the thing that you know that you actually naturally be. And for me, isn't it so funny that when I'm being me, I am so light and joyful and happy and greater. And yet I come into a world, not animals, not the earth, but most people actually react, resist to joy in regard to living. And if we're not enjoying the way you make money, the way you use your talents and abilities to generate whatever it is, business, restaurants, I worked in restaurants, I worked as a hotel manager. What's the point? What are you doing it for, you know?
Yeah, that's the basic point of view of someone who has a totally different reality and totally different perspective. And it's beautiful when you do things out of joy. You create so much more joy, and then you invite more people to more joy. And we see that with kids. They are walking, talking joy of business. Do they have a legal business under their name? Not all of them. Some of them do. But they be this joy of business, and they receive money with such a joy, but they also gift money with such a joy, and then they share it, and they can share a play with one person or the other, or so many different other kids and adults as well. So I would say this is something that is very natural to us. And then we kind of learn to be responsible adults and then forget about the joy and go into doing business. And that's where we get a little bit lost of from what we be, and we think that we have to fulfill something where, which is like the thing that everyone talks about, you should get to. And forgive my English, it is not my native language. I know these sentences don't don't add up sometimes, but we try to get, what I'm trying to say is, we try to get to the image that everyone talks about and everyone tells you to get to, but nobody has any idea of what it is.
You said something brilliant though. You said we have to become responsible. I would say tip number one, Dr. Amin Bezalushi, obligation kills all joy. And the moment that you said it, the moment being responsible for yourself and obligation are two completely different things. And so one of the things that I would love to ask you is, what is it that you know is required for you? Like, both of us committed to having a business that we had to self generate and then have others support us in the generation of that. Okay. And for us, it's based on ease and question and possibility. And what can we add to your life that is going to allow you to live greater? Okay. And so for me, a lot of people give up on their dream based on one presumptive reality, one judgment, one negative reactive reality. I can't deal with this. I can't handle this. How do I get this to work? And so we both not have to. And in essence, it did have to be a choice, or we wouldn't be here. I would say that I chose to commit to whatever it takes. I am going to give myself a go at being successful at my own business. That, for someone else, that might be, I'm going to be successful as a dressmaker, a designer, a car mechanic, whatever it is. So what is it that you had to change in you that got you to this place where you knew you had a choice in the way that you generate money, in the way that you do business, from the work that you deliver? Like, what is it that was required of you in this?
Well, what a lot, but mainly was to listen to me, not others. If someone is not empowering me, and if someone is not telling me, yes, that is possible, if anyone is telling me this is not possible, I go away. If someone is telling me, okay, this is possible and is empowering me to get there, I'm like, oh yeah, give me more. But if someone tells me, that's my basic point of view in life, anyone that tells me something is impossible, I just walk away.
So you actually have a commitment to possibility. You haven't got a commitment to failure. Thanks for this information, though, because this is huge. Because a lot of the times, everyone watching this live, whether it be now in the future on YouTube, you're committed to something. I was committed to failure. That's how I was raised. We don't succeed from this part of town. We're the ones that are underprivileged, or whatever that is. And then your upbringing was, you go to med school, you get the right life and the right job, and you get the right amount of money. So as such, they were all steeped in judgment as a source of creation, whereas joy of business is choice as a source of creation. Choice doesn't cost anything. If I choose this, what will this create the future I'd like to have? And then the actualization of that choice and bringing it to fruition, which is something that it blows my mind.
That is so true.
Yeah.
And I wonder what else can we really open up to that would open up those possibilities, and the possibility of us looking into what we would like to create as a future.
Yeah. And I get that. For me, this is the hot topic at the moment. So many people that we know are transitioning careers, transitioning where they're living, because they're looking to have something greater, more peace, more joy, more happiness, more possibilities, more gratitude, And it's such a beautiful gift to see how far you've come, and the choices and the choices that you've made, and the choices that you've made to bring things to fruition, to actually build this business. I love building it. For me, business is like a baby, and then you teach the baby to crawl, to walk, and it develops and it becomes strong and it becomes an adult. And so, yeah.
Does it get any better? Thank you for inspiring me.
Oh, you're so welcome.
For
You're
always
so
being
welcome.
such inspiration. What else is possible?
Totally. So if you're watching this live, we would love to invite you to Joy Business. I'm having a little taster. I'm having a taster tomorrow. Have you tasters coming up? Have you classes coming up with Joy Business? These classes are phenomenal.
Yeah, I do have a business done different at the end of the year. It's gonna be the 29, 30, and 31st of December, which is gonna be in Arabic. That's the class that I have for now for Joy of Business.
A business, just let me give people a little bit of information on a business class. The Joy Business classes are where you look at where you're functioning from in regard to business, and then where you get tools to actually build something different. And it is a great idea if you want to set yourself free in 2024 in regard to your career choices and what you would like to build, it's incredible. I highly recommend it. Yeah, exactly. Anything else you'd like? Anything else you'd like people to know before we finish today's live?
Well, just keep going. Never
Yeah.
stop. Never give up. Never give in.
Yeah, totally. And the one thing that I would like people to know is nobody has to have a money problem. There's plenty of money in our world. Know that there's money available, that you can create businesses work. You can always, develop more learning, more skills. And the other thing is, you don't have to be in a job you hate. You have a choice. And when you choose to care for you, your whole life becomes about being caring to you, doesn't it?
True. So true.
Beautiful. Thanks so much for today, and keep flying, keep going.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Rachie. Thank you,
Bye,
everyone.
everyone. Bye. Bye. Bye.